So I'm recording this intro after the fact. Unfortunately, due to some winds outside, the audio was messed up. But this was my first ever postcard show that I went to, and it's way different than the card shows that you typically see here on the channel. There was not one graded card throughout the room. There was probably about 80 to 100 tables in general. The advertising said there was going to be 1 million postcards. And the closest show comparison I would say to this was kind of like the UK National. Didn't record too much, unfortunately, because there was so much to go through, but hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, so this is probably my first lot, and I need to fly through here, man, because I spent over an hour and a half at one booth itself about Lindbergh. Some baseball over here, General Lee, Stonewall, more baseball, postcards, kind of cheap stuff. These are 1970s, but my goal is at least to throw these on a ComC store. We'll see what happens. Some Titanic stuff over here. I think these are 1912, not 100% sure. This one I like quite a bit. Joe DiMaggio's restaurant in San Francisco. Really sweet colors, dated 1954 on the back. Football postcard. Lindbergh, these are exhibits over here. Sinatra exhibit, General Lee, World War II, baseball postcard, and then a grant when he ended up passing away. So we'll see what we do with the lot. One thing that's kind of interesting with these postcard shows is all the prices are going to be in pencil on the back, small pen. So something that you see overseas. I know a lot of people in like the sports card scene would have a fit with prices on here, but that's how postcards are done. So we'll close this deal. All right, I'm ready to check out.
Okay.
And while we finish this deal, this is all their other shows that they have over here?
Well, those are all the shows that we run. We run shows throughout the country.
So this is their big Florida show over here. DC, Maryland, 2 in March, Minnesota, Maryland, and then this is the national for postcards. So it's about what, like 300 tables or so, something like that. So you guys will know, kind of like a Philly card show side of things, or a Chantilly. It's November.
I didn't realize I was interrupting you.
Oh no, you're good.
I thought you were
you're
talking
good.
to me.
You're good.
I saw one of those.
Oh, the Wednesday.
With discount, make it 200 even.
200? Okay, we can do that. Do you guys do PayPal or cash only, or?
I mean, I can do like a credit card. I mean, I can try to take PayPal. I mean, I can give you on PayPal.
Okay, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Credit card that. I know. I figure a lot of dealers here are going to be cash only.
Yeah,
so
yeah, no, that's
do
fine.
that.
Thank you.
All right, so pickup number 2, got this lot for $18. I believe this is a rookie card or pretty early on his career. And we got some LA Dodgers postcards over here. Check that one out. I'll show you the backs too. And then just iconic moment from a Disney ride, although it is a little creepy on this one. So some of the backs you guys can see over here. Going over there. I think. This one has quite a bit of writing on it. So I'll take a look at it a little bit later and see if it's anyone famous, because there's always that opportunity. But yeah. So next lot pickup, 1926 football. Over here, 2 postcards. Not sure who's on the card, but I'll do some research a little bit later. This is actually a set I was missing a few people from. And Clark's, I can't remember, this is 1893 or somewhere around there. But this will complete it. That was the one I needed over there in the back. Pretty happy about that one. Dukes over here, 2 different actresses. I'll have to do some research, but $10 on that. Definitely take those. Baseball postcard. Again, not too familiar with the subject matter on here. $10 on that one. I actually picked up a pretty large lot of Washington and Lincolns, so I'll just go through all these really quick. No idea the years. Stuff I'll research later. I actually like this one a lot. Shepard and JFK. Continue to go through these ones. I'd assume most of these are probably early 1900s. And then we have a Pee Wee Reese exhibit. This does have the baseball down there. There's some that do and don't. I don't remember the scarcity, but it looked pretty sharp.
I wish I had.
All right, guys, we're back from the postcard show. Now, I have a stack over here. It's kind of mail day. I could have made another video, but we're going to throw it in here. This is all the pickups from the card show as well, or I should say postcard show, as well as this reference book. I will go over a few different pages of the reference book. The goal is we'll go through mail, a little bit of this, and then the pickups from the show. Now, a few things also. I really don't know how much I recorded here at the show. To be honest with you, there were so many cards there. Like I said, the advertisement mentioned 1 million cards. And instead of going through the show 2 days, I kind of rushed through it with 1 day. I have a lot of stuff I got to get done on Sunday, so I just don't think I had enough time to go back for a second day. And rather than record, I decided to just go through as many bins as possible to pick up what I wanted. This card show is a lot like that UK card show that I went to, that it'd be impossible to check out every single card. The other thing that's very similar is there's really no comps. Every card kind of just had its own price. And if you agree with it, awesome. If you disagree, it is what it is. Really no negotiations out there. There was some subtle negotiations I saw, but most dealers were pretty firm on their pricing. But that's kind of how I expected this show to be. So with that being said, let's go through this first stack over here. Now, the first card that I have is this Kousis Ben Franklin. I sold my 1.5 to upgrade into this copy, and it looks really nice. I think this is a 3 all day long, maybe a 2.5 if you get a tougher grader, but kind of happy with that result over here. Okay, Ben Franklin. And then picked up some Stolworks. So I already have most of these in higher grade. We'll see how these end up grading out, but Franklin, Washington over here, and Da Vinci as well, I believe. Yeah, Da Vinci. So not the scarcest cards, but they are pretty popular non-sports wise, and they look pretty good, right? And then over here, I have my Edison. This is from a Sydney Ogden, which I've wanted for quite a while. I got outbid on the one at PWCC. A 4.5 did $780. I don't know if this gets a 4 or 5. I think this is a strong contender for a 3+. Hopefully 3, 3.5, 4, maybe 4.5. We'll end up seeing how this ends up grading. But that's another big Edison off my list on there, and probably one of his top 5 toughest cards to find. And I say that because there's always stuff being discovered. I don't know for sure. Up next, we have a 1922 Felix Poden Series 3 of Douglas Fairbanks. One of the best actors of all time. And 1922 Podens are, like, I wouldn't say impossible, but they are very tough cards to find. And this also has a clean back, which is hard to find as well. So I saw this one up on an eBay auction and had to pick it up. Yeah. All right, next. I already had this in my collection. Actually, I got my copy from Cassius Clay Cards. He was on the personal collection series, and he actually had a few chocolate Simons of the Beatles, and he sent me one after we did our discussion, which I'm super appreciative of. But these just don't really pop up that often. I saw this one on eBay, and I bought the buy it now. The guy listed at $40, which I thought was a great price for this one. This is I'm not going to say it's the toughest Beatles card to find, but it's definitely up there for the toughest from 1964. And I believe this is from Spain, if I remember correctly. Now, this card, it looks like it's, I can't tell if it's like slabbed wrong. Yeah, this thing is like slabbed right in there. Oh, that's a great job of slabbing, but yeah, both sides right there and right there. Maybe I might be able to move it, but I don't want to damage the card too much. Most of these you're going to find are under a 2 grade. They're mainly pasted into albums. All right, and next we have a Lone Jack Inventors lot. And I split this lot with Nuff Said Cards. He's also building the set, so I think he's almost halfway done with the set. I'm 5 away. There's 25 in total. So this was the new one that I needed for my set build, and this got me to 5 away. You can see the backs over here. Still the best design cards I've ever seen. Now, that's just one in my set that I upgraded. Won't go through that one. Here is another upgrade. The Jethro Wood got this up to a 2. And the other one, Richard H. I'll probably get demonetized if I say the other word, although it is his last name, but that's how YouTube works. That one. I upgraded my Michael Faraday as well. Used some of his material in some of my physics and math classes. And this was my old one. So that is the card I upgraded. This is going to enough said cards. So just a little bit of a cleaner back. Although ideally I'd want to get like a 4 or 5 in this one day. This also goes enough said cards. George Stephenson. I think I have this in a 4 if I remember correctly. And this was my old wood. It's really nice on the front. Like those are super crisp, sharp corners, but it does not have the best of back. But still, like I value fronts more than backs, and this front looks fantastic. And I think that's partly the reason why I picked this up a long time ago, but also like these are impossible to find. So I wouldn't say that in general. I'll pick them up in any condition. I mean, even if the back's pretty much, I know I wouldn't say if the back's all gone. I need to have somewhat of a back, but that is the Jethro Wood. But yeah, 508. If you guys have any in this set, please hit me up. I really want to finish this one. It's taken me over 3 years just to get 20 cards, and there's 25 in total, so we're getting really close. All right, let's go through into this next side of things, look at this book. So this is going to be my first look as well. I got a small preview. I don't know how I'm going to even get this into this frame, but essentially, we have different pictures over here. Talks about estimated values. A lot of text over here. What I was talking to a dealer that sold me this book. Apparently there's also mention of like dating specifically on here. So this one is a baseball page. Some of you guys would probably appreciate that. National League Baseball over here. New York Polo Grounds classic field over here. But yeah, I saw a lot of these delaying the game. It's kind of a funny one. A lot from the set, all over the place. So it talks about baseball over here, estimated values, comic cards, college and high school, estimated value over here. So something, it's kind of helpful to learn a little bit about, especially if you're going to niche down. And obviously, comps are going to be all over the place with this type of stuff, but it's kind of have a good idea about it. I think there's 2,000 images apparently in this book, so I'm going to read through it over time. Maybe we'll make some videos and stuff like that. But this will also help with the app that I'm developing, which I think I mentioned should probably be out late Q1, early Q2, or sometime around then. And I say that now. There's always stuff that could change. But here in the back, right, let's put that over here. Guide on collectible postcards, 1,500 in general. Talks a little bit about it. I'm actually pretty excited to know about the dating of postcards because I'm not familiar with it, and I think this will help out quite a bit. So really happy I was able to pick this up for just like reference material, and I think that's very very underrated in the hobby education material. I think a lot of people glance over it and don't do their due diligence on studying, and I think just to level up as a collector, you need to do your research. And this will help me out with the postcard side of things. All right, let's go into the cards that I picked up at the show. And we picked up quite a lot. I would assume this is 50 to 60 cards. I don't know. It's hard to judge. So let's start going through these. And we're going to start off with some 1800s cards. And when you're at these postcard shows, stuff like this is considered trade cards. So just some verbiage that you guys should pick up if you do end up going. Now, I have no idea who these actresses are, but I do know that a lot of these are pretty popular a lot among non-sports collectors, and I picked these up for like $5 a piece. So why not, right? And these ones are actually very sharp. I know there's a little bit of staining on them, but I'll do some research and I'll see if they're famous or if like the set or imagery. So both of these are Dukes over here. Oh, actually all 4 of these are specifically Duke cards. So that is the first 4 over here. Then, all right, this next card's already been accounted for. End up selling it. Now this next card is already accounted for. If it was a little bit better shape, I would have kept it, but like you can see a lot of paper loss here on the side. And yeah, it is what it is, right? Front looks pretty good, but I know someone that was looking for this for a friend, and I found it at the show, and obviously it's gonna go right out to him. But I do like that picture a lot on there. It looks like it was actually shifted a little bit on the print on this one, but maybe it's just what it looks like on video here. All right, exhibits. So we have a Pee Wee Reese right here, corner, stuff like that. So this will probably be a COMC one. Now, I don't know, maybe I'll grade it, but we'll see specifically. Now, exhibits, also known as arcade cards, that's where these were listed under. And the show, there's 2 ways that these would be listed, either arcade cards by itself or also baseball cards. And I actually picked up 2 Pee Wee Reese's. The other one is probably grade worthy. We'll go into that a little bit later. I picked up some vintage postcards of stadiums. So I tried to stay with bigger teams. The Dodgers obviously is a pretty large team. And vintage postcard of the Dodgers with writing here on the back. Maybe I'll try to decipher some of this cursive and specifically see if anything's going on. Whether it's a famous person or not. But this also has a postage due on here, 2 cents, and airmail. So who knows what is going on over there. But sometimes you luck out and there's someone famous that wrote on the back, or it's to someone famous. Another LA Dodgers on this one. This one specifically has no rating on the back. Dodger Stadium again. That's up next. Picked up a Washington and Ben Franklin. I already have these, so we'll see like how they grade out if I do grade them. But really great imagery on those. Another exhibit over here of Warren Spahn. We got a Harvard baseball card. I believe this is 1905, and also to note, there is football cards from the set. I saw the Princeton and UPenn one, University of Pennsylvania. Not the best shape, right? There's some wrinkles and stuff like that. Again, has some writing here on the back. I can't read cursive, so I have no idea what this says. But I will try my best to take a look at it and see if I can decipher it. I actually saw a few of these at the show, and I was kind of surprised how much these actually do. These did have some comps on eBay, and this is 3/4 Century Softball Club. Apparently, and the story behind this, when I was doing some research on it, they would play to like 3, 4, 5,000 people in Florida, and you can see St. Pete, Florida over here at 1958. They had cards ranging from 49. This is a 58, so I'd assume they'd probably have a little bit later too. I actually was trying to see if there's any like Hall of Famers or baseball players on here. I don't know if there's any Hall of Famers, but maybe there's some ex-baseball players. If you guys know or have some more information, let me know. But I do love the imagery on here. Probably not something I will PC unless there's some Hall of Famers on here, but there's not. At least that's my assumption on that. Another Dodger Stadium over here. That's this is a rookie card, actually, looking this up, 1981. Not a super expensive card, though, by any means. I guess I picked up my first Disney card. I found this as a pretty good deal. I actually looked at the Disney stacks to see if there's any Walt cards. He has some postcards, I believe, in the 60s that are kind of collectible. So not too expensive, but probably just something I'll throw in ComC. Probably should have looked at a little bit more Disney stuff, but we'll see how this first one does. We have a General Lee. So this one does have a copyright of 1911 on here. Big old crease here on the back, but I mean, paid $3. Like, why not? I believe this is from the 1940s. They can't strike him out. And a good crossover between non-sports and baseball. So I don't know how well this is going to show up on video. 2 images depending on how you move this around. But of Grant's tomb and also of Grant himself. Sideways from one side to one another over here. Printed, and it says right over there 1906 or 08. Hard to tell through the video. And that was kind of unique. Another General Lee, 1907. A little bit more expensive. Frank Sinatra exhibit arcade card as well. Grease on there. George Washington. I don't know the dates on a lot of these. I assume they're early 1900s, 1910s, maybe 1920s. But it was picking these up for like $2 or $3 a piece, and said, why not? Lindbergh over here with Coolidge. Football card, 1912. On the back, too. I think this set also had a baseball one. If I remember when I was trying to research this card. Picked up a few Titanics. So this is the first of 4. I have to do some research. I don't know the scarcity of some of these Titanic ones. Some may be scarce, some may be pretty common. Another Lindbergh over here with his mascot. Really, really bad back on that one. And another Lindbergh. Lindbergh sells pretty well, aviation card-wise, on the non-sport side of things. And I already have a few Lindberghs, so I'll probably end up selling these. But I got to do my own research first. I don't think they're that rare. Charlie Chaplin over here. Charlie at Work, Charles Chaplin. Then we have a Stonewall Jackson. He actually doesn't have a lot of cards. And there's a pretty good demand for his stuff. This one actually looks trimmed. But I mean, I assume a lot of stuff is. I wouldn't say a lot of stuff, but I assume like when you get to this old, I mean, who knows? Someone could have trimmed that a long time ago. But yeah, it definitely is. Well, it doesn't take away from the imagery. Another baseball one over here. Fenway should be, right? Fenway Park. Again, just a cheap purchase. Probably throw it in ComC and see how it does. I think this is probably 80s, 70s or 80s International League 1924 champions. I don't know. I got to do some research. Published Postcard Co. But for $2, someone will want it. It does have Lefty Grove on here, wherever he's at. Lefty Grove. I don't know if there's any other Hall of Famers. Just looking at this. Or any other. There's probably a few baseball MLB players, but Lefty Grove is the Hall of Famer on this one. If you found that an original one, that would be a lot of money. This was probably one of my favorite designs over here. DiMaggio's restaurant right out in San Francisco. 1954 that this is dated. Fish dinner. Yeah, really cool example over here. Another Titanic. These were all like 30 bucks. So that wasn't too bad for 1912. Another Boston Red Sox. This is, I believe, Wrigley Field. So baseball in West Side Ball Grounds of Chicago. And this is dated 1916. Again, I am horrible with cursive. It looks like this is a Raleigh Hotel, but dear, or I don't know. Leo, and I can't read that name. But either way, old Chicago, and I definitely couldn't pass that one up. This is like 1970s, but these sell pretty well. I think, I'm trying to think these is 74 or 79, but I picked up like a lot of famous stadiums for here. Williamsport, Little League World Series. Why not? Very popular event here in the States. Another one, Polo Grounds. Nothing too special here. Ebbets Field. Yankee Stadium. I can't remember if I picked up the Shea Stadium one or not. This is a spring training of the Baltimore Orioles. We're here when they're down in Miami Stadium. Two more Titanic over here. So different prints though, but the same image. $2,500, 45, and 7.5. There, 66. This one has a lot of writing on it. This one does not have a lot of writing. Those 1894 General Lee. This is a card I was actually hunting, so I was pretty happy to find that at the show. Another Washington over here. Lincoln. Football team from 1926. Normally, I try to avoid most of these if I didn't know too much about this, but I think I picked it up for $3 or $4. I don't see how you lose on that situation. Sheridan. This set was missing one person, unfortunately. Paul Revere. I have the Paul Revere. There's 5 in the set. I wish I picked up a dupe because people have asked about the Paul Revere. But like I said, still happy about that, Lee. I'll take 4 out of 5. Another Washington over here. With a back over here, too. I have to do some research on this one. Looks like there is 2 photos on this. But then one back. Vermont. So if anyone recognizes any of these players or anything like that, let me know. I don't expect anything to be on there, but just very cheap price for a baseball team. This was another one over here for football. This actually sold on eBay, surprisingly not. I tried finding some of these out here. It was tough. I barely could find a lot of stuff, but $2 All right, I'll pick up a 1926 football team for that. Another Pee Wee Reese. This one is probably grade worthy. This looks like a 5, maybe a 6. An exhibit. Abraham Lincoln again. I thought this one was really cool. This is a crossover because I do collect a lot of space stuff. I collect presidential. So you read the back here. President Kennedy pins NASA Distinguished Service Medal on America's first astronaut, Alan Shepard, in ceremonies at the White House. Behind the hero, his wife, Louise, and father, Alan. I didn't research this card yet, but this is definitely going to stay in my collection. Pretty cool there. Another Washington over here. And like, I think most of these postcards are like Washington, Lincoln. I have no plans on selling those right now. Maybe one day, but again, more research is needed, and I'd rather just keep them right now. And I may have some of these already, because I do buy them occasionally. See them. Probably haven't shared them on video yet, but and I don't know if I've got any dupes from the stuff I purchased today. Don't think so. But yeah, and our last one over here. Log cabin, which Lincoln was born in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favorite pickup was from the show. I'm definitely going to go to other postcard shows. I may actually travel for a few this year. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys liked as your favorite cards. If you're brand new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. It's free. And yeah, I will catch you guys in another video.